Welcome to the Afrocentric Woman, where our mission here is to inspire Black women to heal core wounds and embrace a luxurious and abundant lifestyle. Here we provide content and resources to aid in healing, leveling up, releasing blockages, creating wealth, and cultivating healthy relationships. Today, I would like to talk about the art of apologizing, the importance of apologies. I want to talk about giving apologies, receiving apologies, and the like. And hopefully, we can have a great discussion down in the comments. So, I have been a stickler for this issue for quite a long time. I think that the age and that we live in and the reality shows that we have, which are super popular, just really demonstrates the lost art and lost ability for modern day humans to apologize to one another and really um, show remorse and to have corrective actions towards their behavior, to have empathy and compassion for one another when they hurt someone. And it's very disappointing. I really don't watch as much reality TV as I used to. In fact, I am not watching any reality shows at the moment, but in the past, I've watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have watched various installments of Love and Hip Hop. I have watched a few seasons of Growing Up Hip Hop. Let me see, what else have I watched? I've watched various marriage boot camps and whatnot, and relationship boot camps and whatever. Oh, well, actually, that I take that back. I do watch Hoarders. I find it to be very fascinating. So yeah, I take that back. I do watch reality shows, but I've really cut back. But one recurring theme that you see on these reality shows, which I feel is very much so a a reflection of what happens in everyday life, is this inability to apologize. To this day, I cannot think of one personality on a reality show that delivered an adequate apology. And I can't think of one. And usually the apology goes something like, I'm sorry if you felt offended. I'm sorry, that you felt that you feel bad about that, or what my intentions were is X, Y, and Z. And it's really interesting that I had this idea today and randomly on Instagram. I came across a post. I'm actually looking for it right now. I came across a post on Instagram that this guy was really breaking down. Oh crap, let me see if I can find it. He was really breaking down various art, aspects of this whole apology situation. Okay, I found it. It's called, this guy's name is Elwing Bling, and he has a breakdown of it on his IG. He has various pictures, and it says, did anyone ever teach you to apologize? How to receive and accept an apology? Who and what an apology is for? Or what or was it all about punishment or appearances, blame and keeping the peace? And that really resonated with me, this artwork that this IG account has, because sometimes, especially when you're dealing with narcissists, they apologize just to move on, just to keep, as Dr. Romney says, keep the train on the tracks, keep everything running smoothly. It's not that they necessarily feel bad about what they did or take any accountability for what they did. They just apologize because you're asking them to apologize. So this has definitely been something on my radar. I do think that millennials in general um, definitely don't know how to apologize. I mean, I don't know if it's a generational thing. Maybe it's a multi-generational thing. My mom's a baby boomer, and she, really doesn't know how to apologize. And I've seen other boomer parents, make a lot of excuses and the proverbial "I did my best" kind of a thing instead of just, apologizing for your experience and just the feelings that you feel. So, another thing that prompted me to do this video is I just received a shitty apology. Actually, I take that back. I actually didn't receive an apology at all. So, I reached out to a woman about a project that we have coming up, that I have contracted her services for. And she responded in email, and she used a word to me that I received as very hurtful. And I thought about this and I composed an email to express how I felt about it. And I really kind of, I had to censor myself because I'm one of those people who I am overly accountable. So I will always find fault within myself about something, or I will always be very self-reflective and, well, I did this and I see this and this is about me. But I really just wanted to kind of cut to the chase and be like, this thing that you said hurt me, and I know that regardless of whatever intentions that you have, it was hurtful. And so I got an email back later that day that was basically like, well, my intentions were to just be brutally honest with you and just to break it down and to talk to you like a family member and just let you know how I see it and be really honest with you and not sugarcoat. So I didn't receive an apology. And I think that this is just really it's such an unfortunate it's such an unfortunate state of affairs that we as humans can't see the other human hurting and letting that emotion be at the forefront of our response. Um, it's unfortunate. Another thing that I want to do on this channel is to promote empathy and compassion. Narcissism is running rampant. And that's another thing that we see in the reality shows are basically, it's usually one or two very outrageous narcissists surrounded by toxic individuals doing toxic activities, and we all watch it and we call it reality TV. And, that's basically the impetus of it. I mean, we've got narcissists like Nene Leakes, Kenya Moore is a total narc. Who else is a narc? Oh my gosh, this Love in Huntsville saga that's playing out on social media now. We've got a narc and a possible covert introverted narc and a toxic codependent and flying monkeys and all the like. And it's great for ratings because narcissists are just, when they're charismatic and grandiose, it's very entertaining, but I think it's very dangerous that we as a society are entertained by this cruelty. It's really cruel. A lot of the things that they say and do is cruel. And I think it's dangerous for humanity to continue to find laughs and to find entertainment in this level of abuse that goes on, just because it's being filmed and just because it's being packaged and sold to us in shiny attire and luxurious homes and cars and trips. We make excuses that these abusive people yelling and tirading and bad mouthing and arguing and fighting and manipulating and emotionally blackmailing and just really carrying on a narcissistic manner that we find it to be funny. So, of course, these individuals, when they are backed into a corner and forced to apologize, it's always a fake, you know, BS apology. And that's basically like, well, my intentions were X, Y, and Z. So I believe that, Iyanla Van Zant gets at least this part right when she just encourages people to say, forgive me for, please forgive me. Um, I think that that's a good way to start. So when you're apologizing to someone, if you acknowledge that they are hurt, or if they tell you that they're hurt, or they didn't appreciate something or something that you did, or if you're running late, or you forgot their birthday, or you let them down in some type of a way. What's very important is that you to show empathy, you put yourself in that person's shoes. You really put yourself in in that person's shoes, and you try to feel the feelings that they are feeling, and you try to understand their perspective, and you try to really relate to them on that emotional human connection level. That's going to help you tap into your empathy. Me, I'm a very naturally empathetic person, so it comes very natural to me to really put myself into other people's shoes. But for some people, they may have to work on that part of themselves. They may have to really, you may really have to access that part of yourself, and just to know that it's okay to try to put yourself into someone else's shoes. You might want to think about, what does giving an apology mean to you, or what did it mean to you growing up? For many people, it meant admitting defeat, and then that meant that you were made to be wronged, or then someone would be able to take advantage of you if you apologized, or someone would have something to hang over your head, like if you're admitting to a mistake or something like that. But if you have a background like that, as it relates to apologies, it's going to be very hard for you to give out proper apologies. So you might want to explore that, so that it's not hindering you in building meaningful relationships and honoring the people around you, and having solid, healthy relationships. So, with this particular woman, and I do think that I will email her again with what I would want to hear. I'm okay because I'm in a place of peace and knowing that people are like, I understand that a lot of people, especially when you're younger, you don't necessarily have that maturity level. Maybe you watch a lot of reality TV, and this is the norm, where you are not able to give a proper apology if you hurt someone. I'm at peace with letting it be and moving on to the project that we need to do. But I do want to express, because this is a learning moment, a teaching moment, and also expression moment for me, to let you know, hey, this is what I wanted to hear. Hey, sis, I am so sorry that I said that word, and I do apologize. Please forgive me. Going forward, I won't use it again. And that's it. And that particular formula can be applied to most anything. It can be applied to anything that you're hurting. In addition to showing empathy and compassion for people for where they're at, take accountability for what you did. Even if you didn't mean to do it, let's say that there was a wreck on the road. And so, that's why you were late. And so when you pull up to pick up your friend and they're upset, they're flustered, they're disoriented, maybe they're hungry and you guys were supposed to go out to dinner and they're upset, you don't have to just look at them and be mad at them like, "Oh well, I don't care. There was a wreck on the road. It's not my fault. Oh well, I don't care." No, you can still apologize, because this person's emotions are real. They really are hungry. They really are frustrated. They really are upset. And so, even though in your heart you don't feel like it was your fault because there was a wreck on the road, you can still apologize. Friend, I'm so sorry that I am late. And I do apologize. Please forgive me. I just want to let you know that there was a wreck on the road. Going forward, maybe I can use my Google Maps to check the road before I get on the road, or try to find an alternative route. I can do what I can do on my end to prevent this. And just know that, we're at the mercy of the road. But I do appreciate you waiting on me. I love you, and please forgive me. And then that is going to help your friend disarm them. That's going to help them just feel better that you're listening to them, you hear them, you see them, you know them. And that's really what intimacy is all about. Intimacy is about seeing the other person and sharing an experience with them. And so that's how we can cultivate healthier relationships in our life. Let me go back to this post on IG, and there's another interesting point. Okay, so this says 13 kinds of false apology. Number one, the minimizing apology. I was just such and such and such and such. Number two, the shift the blame apology. I'm so sorry that you fill in the blank. The conditional apology. I'm sorry if. Number four, the deja vu apology. I already said. Number five, the phantom apology. I regret that. Number six, the whitewashing apology. I probably should have. Number seven, the nothing to apologize for. You know I. Number eight, the invisible apology. I guess I should say the pay to play apology. I'll apologize if you blankety blank. Number 10, the not my apology apology. I was told to apologize, so here you go. Number 11, the takeaway apology. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have had, or you shouldn't have, but should, you know. Number 12, the one size fits all apology. For all those times. And lastly, number 13, the get off my back apology. Enough already. So, you know, the apology is for the other person. Um, like I said, it's an opportunity to build intimacy and to have empathy for the other person. If you're saying I apologize if you felt offended, that's not a real apology, people. That is the number one millennial apology. That is, I promise you, that is the number freaking one millennial apology. I'm sorry if you felt offended. I'm sorry if you felt, if I'm sorry if you feel that way. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Well, I'm sorry if you feel like it happened like that. That's not an apology. Why? Because you're not acknowledging your part in the situation. And this is the thing. Let's say that you do not have the capacity, you hurt someone, or they're hurt, or they're upset. This is the thing about anger. Underneath anger is 9 times out of 10 hurt. So when you see someone and they appear to be angry, what is underneath that anger 9 times out of 10 is hurt. So if you make someone angry or if you hurt someone, usually underneath, it's really the hurt. So even if you don't have the capacity to understand, you don't have the capacity to empathize, maybe the situation is so emotionally charged that you don't have a way to access their viewpoint, or you're really confused, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, you could just say, please forgive me. I see you hurting and I want to make this right. I'm willing to listen. Please forgive me. You see, you don't have to know why. You don't have to take responsibility if you don't even see your responsibility in that moment, but you're still connecting with the other person on a human level. So I have rambled a bit, and I hope that I've sparked some, good conversation about apologizing, the importance of apologies, and the purpose of apologizing, and how to receive apologies. You know, I hear you and thank you. Even if you're not ready to forgive that person, um, if they apologize to you, if they give you a proper apology, you can just say, I hear you, and I thank you for extending, um, you know, asking me for forgiveness. I'm gonna work in my heart for it, or I just appreciate you. I hear you and I see you. Side note, I remember, there was a friend who, we're friends from afar. We're not really close anymore for various reasons, but I just remember things getting very sticky, and I actually had to look up online, like, what is a healthy relationship? Am I overstepping my boundaries? Like, what is happening here? And I remember finding something that said something like, being seen, um, being heard, and trying to understand. Something along those lines. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, that's great, because that's what intimacy is all about. Seeing the person, acknowledging the person, sharing a space and a connection with them, being present and showing vulnerability. That's really what intimacy is all about. So that's what I have to say about apologies. I look forward to seeing your comments down in the comment section about crappy apologies that you've received, or um, great apologies that you've received, or how you feel like you received them, or just any feedback that you have about apologizing. And if you like this video, please like. And if you like the content on this channel, please subscribe. And I thank you in advance.